You guys, everyone has lied to you. Nothing is not meant to be. Nothing is even meant to be. You create your own reality. You can actually have anything. Everyone has lied to you. When they say you can't have something, that's their own limiting beliefs. You can actually have everything and anything because you create your own reality. You can have anything, it's just that you weren't able to hold it before. You are here, right? So this is my diagram that I've drew today, especially for you guys to explain exactly how you can get whatever you want and exactly the reason why you haven't actually got it yet. This is like everything. So it's not meant to be is an excuse because you can't actually hold it yet. Like if you got it, you would self-sabotage for the reasons that I'm talking about here. When it doesn't actually happen, you're trying to manifest something, you want something, and it doesn't actually happen yet. It's just because it doesn't align with your current self-concept, with your current identity. So it doesn't align with who you see yourself as right now, who you see yourself as deserving of this thing, what you see as possible, and therefore it doesn't align with what you think you can handle. It doesn't align with your current beliefs, your current identity, your current personality. It's not on the same wavelength as you, so it doesn't get attracted to you. You don't attempt to get it, you give up, you self-sabotage, or you just say it's just not meant to be, and then you don't attract it at all through manifestation. This is what happens. This is what it looks like when you weren't actually ready for it. So this is your desire here, this big jug full of water, and this is you, the little mug. Imagine if you used to pour your whole desire into this little tiny mug. It would spill over, it would overflow because you physically can't hold the whole thing. It's just not there for you. It's like the rubber band where like you give it something too fast and too quickly and it'll just expand too fast and snap. The rubber band technique is rubber band theory is a really good example of this as well. So it doesn't align with who you see yourself as, your desire, what you see as possible, what you see as handled, so therefore you think maybe later. It wasn't meant to be yet. There's something better coming, like maybe later. When I'm wiser, when I'm older, when I'm smarter, then I can have it. Then I can hold it. Then maybe I'll be better for it then. And then we push it away and we self-sabotage, like I said, by giving up. Or we just push it away and we don't put any effort into it. However, the good thing is that we're in control of our minds. Our brain is our brain. We're in control of it, right? Which means that we can change our beliefs. We can change our self-concept. We can change our minds, right? That's the good thing about this. Because a lot of people, they'll say like, oh, it's just not meant to be. It's not meant for you. It's meant for someone else. You're meant for something different. You're maybe meant for it later on. Like, what? Guys, we're in control of our reality. Like, no one tells us what we can and can't have. How disempowering is it for someone to tell you that your life is written in stone? There's a script that you follow, that the universe follows, God follows, and it's written in stone and you can't change it. And you're just destined to have what you have, and therefore if it doesn't happen, it's just not meant for you. Like, you should just give up. Like, no, guys. We create our reality, okay? Our minds create our reality, which is this whole thing right here. And our minds are our minds. We can control our minds. We can tell our minds what to do in order to create this reality in an instant, within days, within even weeks or even months, right? We tell our minds that. The only reason we don't attract big manifestations super fast is because we tell ourselves that this is a big manifestation and therefore it should take time. Like, literally, even Neville Goddard says that like anything should take no more than 3 days. If it takes longer than 3 days, you need to expand your subconscious beliefs. This is what I'm saying now. You need to expand your mind to be able to hold it. You need to expand your self-concept to be able to create that reality so you can receive it, right? Work on these beliefs so that you can actually have it. It should take no more than 3 days. So this is how we see ourselves in our life, right? In fact, let me bring it a little bit closer because I'm leaning back a little bit here. So this is how we see ourselves in the world, right? This is our self-concept, okay? So in our mind, we have our self-esteem. right? Our self-concept makes up our self-esteem. It makes up our confidence. It makes up our beliefs. It makes up our future self, and also how we see our current self. So how we see our current self and how we see our future self. Bear in mind, this is the biggest cause of depression in psychology. When your current self doesn't align with your future self, who you want to be doesn't align with your current self. This is what causes people to be stuck, depressed, anxious. They just feel like they don't have a purpose with their life, and it's simply because there is a bigger gap. The more depressed you are, the bigger the gap is between you and how you see yourself now and how you want to be, or you can see the potential in yourself. That is the big gap, right? And this is all in our self-concept. So inside our minds, we have something called a reticular activating system, which is our RAS. So you might hear me talk about it quite a few times on this channel. This reticular activating system inside our mind, is here in the mind at the bottom. This is responsible for confirming to us what we already believe. So if you believe, and if someone starts talking about blue cars, or like you want a blue car, you'll start seeing blue cars everywhere, because your reticular activating system is confirming to you what you believe and what you want, what you see, right? It's saying to you, it's like feeding your ego. Your ego believes something, or it believes it can do something, it believes it has something. Whatever it believes, it will confirm it for you. If you say, yeah, I am capable of going on a really high ride, then you will have no troubles of going on a really high ride in the air, because you see yourself as someone that likes really high rides. Whereas if you're like, oh no, I'm scared of heights, your mind will constantly come up with things to help you believe that that is a dangerous thing, and therefore you should be scared of heights. Same with the blue car. Your mind will prove to your ego, whatever it believes, it will be like, here, you're right. See, you can feel good about yourself now because you're right. Like, you are good. And this keeps us safe. It keeps us from feeling, it keeps our confidence from going down even further. It keeps our self-esteem high. That is literally what the RAS is doing to you, okay? So you believe that you are destined for a mediocre life, right? Pretend you're destined for a mediocre life, like you see everyone else around you. You see the world living a mediocre life. Your parents before you living a mediocre life, and you think, this is just what I'm destined for, like everyone else, this is just what's possible, right? Then your reality, your RAS will show to you why that is true. It will give you the 9 till 5, it will give you an average house, it will give you an average mood, an average income, an average this, average that. And this is called confirmation bias. When you're confirming to you what you already believe is true over and over and over again, it's this cycle of negative thinking or mediocre thinking, whatever you want to call it. And the difference is, with successful people, they have a cycle of positive thinking, right? They're constantly thinking positive things, not like trying, right? Don't get this confused with trying. Like, I'm not telling you right now to do the light work and go telling yourself, like, we'll get into affirmations in a minute, but I'm not telling you to constantly think, oh my God, I've thought a bad thought, and then you start hitting yourself on the head and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Why am I thinking bad thoughts? I need to be thinking positive thoughts. That is the worst way to go about it. We want to be going deep into your mind and actually reprogram it so that the positive thoughts come naturally, okay? We're not forcing it here. Like, you need to get to the root cause instead of just treating the medication with like affirmations, the light work, right? No, we need to be doing the subconscious work. Then you will automatically think positive thoughts. So it's not like these people, these famous people, successful people are constantly thinking to themselves, I'm amazing, I have a good life. Like, no, they're not sat there repeating positive thoughts to themselves all day, every day. It just happens, right? Like, I don't tell myself to think positive thoughts all the time. I just think positive thoughts because that is my mind that I have reprogrammed and trained it to think. I have told it that this is my reality, and therefore it constantly confirms these positive things. My reality reflects my internal state. That is just like the most easiest way of going into it. Like, don't force it. The whole thing here is don't try, right? Don't try. That is the worst thing, and this is where every single manifestation piece of content usually goes wrong, because they say don't try, let go, detach, believe, but then they also say try and do 1,000 affirmations every single day, try and do this, try and do that, try and do scripting at least twice a day. Like, all of these things, it's not reprogramming your mind, guys, it's just the light work. And again, I'll get into that in a minute because I've got something to say about that. So literally, this is our confirmation bias, confirming to us every single day that what we believe is true, to feed our ego, right? So when we're manifesting something, this is why everyone says these things like, as within, so without. The world is a mirror of you. Get what you give. You get what you give out, right? These are all concepts because of this is what's true. Those are the quotes that everyone always says, and then you're like, how is so within, so without? How do we get what we give out? And you probably think it's in terms of like a vibration, which it is also, but it's also just because of your beliefs, and your beliefs are the things that create your vibration. They create your reality. Like, this is literally the thing that's behind the manifestations. So you manifest literally everything that's going on inside your mind simply because your mind comes first. Your self-concept comes first. Manifestation is just a secondary product of your self-concept. There is nothing before your self-concept, right? That is the thing that creates your manifestation reality. So this is why if you see people talking about how people don't even try to manifest, they just decide and it just arrives. Those people that they don't even actively do any manifestation techniques, they just are, right? You just are energy, you just are manifestation, you just are love, right? This is because of that. This is the self-concept, is that when you are it already, you don't need to do manifestation techniques and try. You just decide you want it and then you get it, because that is what they've trained their self-concept to believe. You only attract and actively pursue what you believe is possible. Your mind is not going to faff around with something that's not possible, because it's not possible. Why would it take any time out of its day? Like, why would it use energy doing something and it doesn't even seem as possible, okay? So your Raz confirms what your self-concept believes to be true. You cannot manifest outside of what your self-concept believes to be true. Your Raz will confirm that it's not possible. Over and over and over again. So if you get these limiting beliefs all the time, it's your Raz telling you it's not possible, because it believes it to be not possible. And there's no point in going against that and doing more affirmations. Like, maybe you do like 2,000 affirmations instead. You think that you're doing something wrong in your technique. You're not. You're literally not doing anything wrong in your techniques, okay? It's just you're doing the wrong thing. Like, you're not doing anything wrong with your technique. You're not falling asleep too fast. You're not writing it out wrong or not doing it for long enough. Like, none of those things. That just adds more effort and more resistance to the manifestation. Like, you're literally not doing anything wrong. It's just you've only been taught half of the story. You've been taught the light work, okay? The light work. So, okay, right, I don't need to turn it over yet. So therefore, essentially, what happens is this is you, and this is your reality. You will get what you deserve, what you think you deserve. You'll get what you think is true. You'll get what you think is possible. You'll get what you think is normal. And you'll get what you think you are capable of. This is why the ladder technique is so important. When you ladder your way up, so you have a massive goal at the top, and people might get triggered if I say this, but if you have the big manifestation at the top, don't manifest it. Manifest something small. Then you go up the steps slowly, because you're building up your self-concept. You're building up that manifestation little rubber band of yours. You're building up your self-concept. When you believe, oh, I did this. Oh my God, I believe that I can manifest now. Now you can manifest the next big thing because it's possible to you now. Well, I did this thing, so I can manifest this thing. Then you get to the top. So you're not keeping your eye off the main goal up here. It's just you're taking it step by step, or else we all have been there where we've tried to manifest something massive that most people don't go for. And like, literally me, I was trying to manifest, like, when I didn't really understand this, I was trying to manifest winning the lottery of like £5 million, okay? People are manifesting that type of stuff for years on end, okay? That is like the hardest, biggest manifestation. And it's like, if I can't even manifest £100,000, how is my self-concept ever going to believe that I can manifest £5 million, right? It's just too big of a step. And that's fine. We can still want to manifest £5 million. It's just doing the ladder technique will get you there a lot faster, but that's not part of this video. but it is a good method. So therefore, our world, our external world, is a direct reflection of our self-concept. So what needs to change? Our self-concept needs to change. We don't need to do more affirmations. We don't need to do more visualizing. No, that's just the pill, right? That's like a manifesting pill, the technique. We need to identify the root cause and change that, and then everything else will just be literally effortless once you've got to the root cause, okay? So this is why, for you, if this is you, is this you, affirmations aren't working for you. You're like completely numb to them. Your mind isn't taking on the affirmations. Scripting doesn't work. It doesn't get you in any sort of emotional state. Maybe SATs don't work. Maybe you fall asleep too fast. Maybe your reality is not changing. Maybe you visualize and you can't feel anything and it doesn't feel real and all these other things, right? If this is you, it's probably because they are not powerful enough to convince you it's possible. They're not powerful enough to literally give you the full-on belief, like, yes, I can have this. I'm going to get this. And there's one thing that is the most important thing, and it is belief, okay? You physically cannot get it if you don't believe it's going to happen, right? It's just not going to happen. Your mind will not get you there. You saying it over and over and over and over again without actually working on yourself. And before you say some people have manifested by saying affirmations over and over, great, it's because they didn't have a bad self-concept in that area in the first place. They had no subconscious beliefs blocking them from getting there. You might try and manifest money and it happens instantly and you're like, awesome, that's cool. And then you start manifesting a romantic partner and then it can't happen, it doesn't happen. And you're thinking, okay, well, what did I do last time? And you're going through your technique that you used to manifest money. But this technique is not working and you're like, oh my God, what is the resistance? I manifested the other thing fine. It's because you had a perfect self-concept in the area of money. You had no resistance against money. You had no subconscious blocks. You had no shadows, right? So a lot of people will teach the technique of just say affirmations over and 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 over until it arrives, right? That is the light work, okay? That is the information, the positive light feeding into your mind. But how can that light go into your mind when you have these subconscious shadows that are literally just eating it up and blocking it, right? It can't happen. Whereas if you don't have those shadows, like you've done the shadow work, you've done the reprogramming work, then your mind is going to be so much more susceptible to this light work, okay? So that's why it works for some people in some areas, but I'm on about the people where it doesn't work for them, okay? It's just not happening. Like affirmations don't work, scripting doesn't work, whatever it is you're trying to manifest. Good news is that in another area, you might be able to manifest it effortlessly because you might have a perfect self-concept in that area. So therefore, what do we need to be working on then? If these aren't powerful enough to convince you it's possible, as I said, it's because there is underlying beliefs that need confronting and changing. This is your shadow self. Your shadow self is usually your subconscious, repressed part of you. Your shadow self contains both good and bad versions of you, okay? An example of good versions of you is like things that you did when you were little that you really enjoyed doing, and then someone told you that it was lame to do that thing, so you didn't do it anymore. You repressed that good part of yourself that you liked to go doing and you were really good at doing. Then you also have the bad side of you, your shadow self, in terms of like really deep-rooted bad subconscious beliefs. That's the bad side of your shadow self. And essentially, when you're trying to manifest something and you have these deep-rooted subconscious beliefs that are pulling you down from manifesting the thing, your conscious mind is telling you, yes, I want this, I want to manifest this, but your subconscious is telling you no. And when 95% of your 95% of your brain power is subconscious, 95%, who do you think wins? Because it's not your conscious. It's not your conscious going on Pinterest, creating vision boards, doing all the things, again, another thing, this is why vision boards work so well for some people. They'll create a vision board and it'll just bloody happen. And you're like, how? Like, I could put my vision board literally in front of my eyeballs for 12 hours a day and I still won't manifest what's on the vision board. And it's simply just because of this thing again. They knew it was possible. They knew that this vision board was possible for them, and therefore it manifested because they physically created this reality for themselves. Whereas whatever you've put on your vision board, there's maybe areas that you do believe is possible, and then there's areas that you don't believe is possible. The areas that you didn't believe was possible or didn't believe was easy didn't manifest. So when you say it was meant to be, positively, it was meant to be. It's actually just because it was aligned with what you knew was possible. You knew it was possible, so you created that reality. You knew it was possible, so you actively pursued it, and therefore your active pursuit then resulted in you ultimately getting it, right? There was no resistance there. It just happened. But what if we reprogrammed our mind to have a solid self-concept in all areas, or in just a big general area? Like, I can have anything I want. This beginning title on the other page, what if you just knew that you could have anything that you wanted in all areas? You can just have anything you wanted. You decided that you wanted it. Oh, I want this, I want to go on holiday, and then you just have it. You just get it, right? Or you decide you're going to manifest a car, and then it appears in your reality. That is what a solid self-concept looks like. Because why wouldn't it manifest? Why wouldn't it? Because your self-concept is solid and you know that it's possible. So obviously you're going to go after it. Your mind's going to give it you because it sees it as something that's possible, something that you can handle, something that you're capable of getting, and something that is normal and something that you deserve. Those are the main shadows, by the way. You either don't think you can deserve it, you don't think it's possible, you don't think it's normal, or you just don't think that you're capable of getting it. Those are the main shadows that we deal with, that I talk about in Paid to Exist, which we'll talk about in a minute. So how do we do it? How do we do this work to get this solid self-concept where we just decide and it just happens, where we manifest and it just appears? Through the shadow work, which is basically a spring clean of the subconscious mind. You're literally going in there, you're picking up the weeds, you're getting the dust off the stuff, right? You're getting it all working again. We're doing a little bit of a spring clean. And then we're also doing light work, but specifically in this order. First the shadow work, then the light work. Not just the light work. That is the manifestation techniques. The light work. The positive affirmations. The visualizations. The forcing this positive, new, wonderful information into your mind. Like you're being forced to believe it. It just doesn't happen. If your mind doesn't have room for this information, like the cup, there's no room for it. It just rejects it. Like, you try and put an old disc in a TV or a CD player, right? And it'll just straight back out. It can't. The program doesn't work. It can't handle it. Doesn't work, okay? It's just not on the same level. You can't just do the light work. So what do we need to be doing then? So this is what it looks like then. This is what shadow work looks like. I'm going to start drawing for you now. On the next page. Okay, so this is what it looks like, just to give you one more perspective before I tell you exactly what you need to be doing in order to have a solid self-concept, the things that we need to be doing. So this is literally what it looks like. So you imagine there's a massive weight on the floor. And you've got some, like, butterflies trying to lift it up, okay? Do you think they're going to be able to lift it up? No, they're not, because it's too heavy. This is your subconscious... Oh my God, I can't speak and can't speak and talk at the same time. This is your subconscious mind, your subconscious beliefs, your subconscious everything, right? It weighs more. It has more brain power. It's 95%. 95% of the weight is here, right? And literally 5%, all the affirmations. These are the affirmations. These are the visualizations. These are the scripting methods. these are the things that you're trying to get yourself off the ground with. You're trying to lift up yourself into this beautiful world of manifestation and effortless abundance. But this is what's pulling you down. And this is why manifestation will not work for 99% of the population, because they do not understand this. You have to be a very determined individual, which is probably why you're still here in this part of the video. So determined to get your dream life that you do the research. You look into the nitty gritty. If something doesn't work, you don't bloody just give up and say it wasn't meant for me. You literally look into the reasons why it's not working. I know it's possible. You already have some sort of self-concept here to know it's possible. You just know that there's a missing piece. That's the difference between the people that clicked off in the first 2 minutes and the people that are going to actually stick around, invest in themselves, do the shadow work and the light work. Those are the people that are going to actually unlock the key to the door to get the dream life, right? The people that aren't lazy, essentially. So if you want to work on this once and for all, these are the things that we need to be working on. First of all, we need to be actually identifying what shadows do I have. So the 3 main ones, again, as I said in the beginning. So obviously you've got deserving, you've got worthiness, you've got is it possible. All of these things will fit into 3 main shadows that I talk about. So you've got number 1 is the self-consciousness shadow. The second biggest one is the deservingness shadow. And then the third one is the worthiness shadow. I think that's it anyways, deserving. No, I think this one is, sorry, not worthiness. This is the capability shadow. So you either have an issue with believing that you're capable of it, believing if you're deserving of it, or you have the self-consciousness shadow, which is where if you're afraid of being seen, so you're automatically dimming yourself, you're restricting your true light, you're restricting your true self, restricting your personality, you're not showing up online authentically, fully as you're watering yourself down maybe, or you're trying to act professional and it's completely in alignment and out of alignment. That is the self-consciousness shadow. You're scared of being seen, you're scared of being judged, right? You're scared of being hurt, essentially. Second of all, we need to be learning the exercises to help us realize our subconscious beliefs and shadows. So we need to be doing exercises like journal prompts, journaling, to help us realize the shadows, the subconscious beliefs, all of that business. Third of all, we need to be asking ourselves and really thinking, where did I learn them? And essentially challenging them. Where did I learn them? Were they right? Was it a source? Was it a valid source? Were they just trying to hurt me? Were they actually right? Did they just hurt me and therefore I took on their belief as true? Like I said in the beginning, where like you do something that you really like, someone told you it's weird, so you don't do it anymore. Is that the reason why you have this belief? Is it because someone literally just told you that it's weird and they hurt you so much that now you think it's true? In which case, that's where you learnt it. And then guess what? Oh my God, now you can actually start journaling on it. You can do the exercises, you can do all the other things. And then suddenly you're like, bam, it's gone because you've just eliminated it. You knew the source, you challenged it, you did the work, it's gone now. You don't have that limiting belief anymore. Sometimes it can literally be as simple as that. If you have a fear of being seen, just realizing where you got the fear of being seen from, and it's one individual source, it's literally gone and you have no problem showing up online authentically. Plus also exercises that help you keep your nervous system calm when you're out and you're feeling, or you're recording a video like this and you're getting that feeling of anxiety because you're showing up as you. You can do loads of different exercises to help calm that nervous system, to help regulate yourself, gain that feeling of safety in your body again. And that is going to be really, really, really good for you. So then number 4, we have challenging our desires in case it's our shadow self playing out. So a lot of people will have the problem of wanting a desire but their desire is actually their shadow. Their shadow wants the desire. For example, it's something that's going to gain them likes, something that's going to gain their confidence, something that's going to make them feel good. This is like, okay, so why do you want fame and fortune? Oh, because then I'll feel confident because I'm famous, so people will like me, and then I'll feel good about myself. Then I will like myself. You know, these things, it's coming from a negative place. It's coming from a place of lack. That's your shadow. Your self-consciousness shadow, your even confidence shadow, right? You've got a confidence shadow, like that fits into the self-consciousness shadow. If you have a confidence problem, no shadow is going to fix that. No manifestation is going to fix that. Confidence comes from within, and that is the shadow that we need to be working on, right? So you need to be challenging your desires in case it's a shadow playing through, because as we know, inauthentic desires do not manifest. It has to be authentic. It has to be aligned. Then it's something that our mind will accept and know is possible, and that's the thing that will manifest. So then the last thing that we're going to be doing is how to actually gain the self-awareness to realize when our mind and our body is not in coherence with each other. This is an example of when you want something, your heart is pulling you towards having it, but then your subconscious mind is like, no, unsafe, unaligned, it's unsafe, you can't have it, like all of these limiting beliefs, right? But you want it. So it's like you want the thing, but the mind is just not there. So it's like the mind and body isn't coherent. In that situation, you need to know that it's not in coherence, because then you can fix the thing that's going on, and then your manifestation can actually happen. So for example, this is a lot of cause of self-sabotage. So they think they want it, or they do actually want it, but then they self-sabotage because they don't think it's possible, they don't deserve it, the whole self-concept thing, right? So we need to realize and have the self-awareness. So I'm going to put here, we need to be learning the self-awareness to realize when the manifestation is not happening. This is also self-awareness. Challenging a desire in case it's a shadow is, again, self-awareness. We need to be learning the self-awareness. Then we can actually do the light work, guys. Once we've undiscovered all of these things, then we can actually do the light work. Because then our mind is going to be permeable and ready and new, like a fresh, clean slate, to accept all of the affirmations, the visualizations, the scripting. It's just going to absorb it like a sponge, because finally we've cleared all the rubbish going on, right? All of it's just gone now. Now we can do the light work. Now we can do the amazing work that's going to actually cause us to manifest. Now we can tell the mind what we want, and the mind will accept it and take it on as a belief. Now we can affirm 200 times a day, and the more we affirm, the more we actually believe it now, right? Because there's nothing blocking it and pinging it away again. Then we can actually rebuild the self-concept, and therefore through all this manifestation work, build this solid self-concept. Once we've undug the weeds, guess what? Now we can plant flowers, right? But you can't plant flowers around loads of weeds. The flowers will die. That is a really good analogy, actually. You cannot plant flowers in weeds because the flowers will die. That is what people do when they're doing all these manifestation techniques. They're planting flowers in weeds, and then they wonder why they don't happen and why the flowers die, right? Why the manifestations die out. They don't happen. They get planted and the universe rejects it, essentially. But apart from, it's just you rejecting it from yourself. And so guess what? You're going to be able to learn all of this and much, much more. Like, this is just scratching the surface. These are the main things that you need to be working on. These are the main things that you will work on. All the little tiny things in between, this is all going to be taught inside Paid to Exist. Again, this is just half of it, because then you're going to be open to receiving the light work, which I'll speak even more about going forwards now that I've spoke so much about shadow work recently. Now I'm going to be teaching more about light work, but half of the Paid to Exist course is the shadow work, and then the whole of the course is how to realize your purpose, how to do the exercises to reprogram your mind to actually start taking on these affirmations, how to do visualizing, how to do scripting, how to do all of these other things to actually help you to get paid to do what you want to do. And even if you have no idea what you want to do, that's fine. Again, I teach you the light work, the self-awareness. We do a little bit of shadow work in here to help us see the parts of it that have been pressed down through our lives when people have said to us, hey, don't do this, do that, is weird. Like all these things that we're told not to do are usually the things that are the most magnetic true parts of ourselves that we've been told to push down. That is the light work, and that is like a whole different course. The course is split into 2 mini courses, the whole shadow work section. I haven't even spoke about the light work course on this channel yet. As I said, I've just spoke about the shadow work. So basically you're going to be able to learn all of this in there. We're going to be literally stripping down all of the layers. We're going to be rebuilding them all new and pretty once you've stripped down the layers, to therefore then build your actual dream reality, and where you then live the passive princess lifestyle, which is everything I talk about, everything I live, everything you want to do. You want to live your life passively and fully and abundantly, right? That is all taught inside Pay to Exist. So doors are actually going to open for Pay to Exist now, guys. This is like a massive announcement. I have been working on this program for literally months now, and now I finally have a date. It's literally going to launch this time next week. So the date is going to be, let me make sure actually in my calendar. Yeah. So the date is literally going to be the 6th of the 3rd. I'm going to mention it in every single video from now on. Click on the description down below and you'll actually be able to sign on to the wait list, sign on to notifications, and then the date will be on there. So if you ever forget it. So 6th of the 3rd, I'm going to be launching it. It's probably going to be in the evening time, but I'll put a date on the actual page, put a time on the actual page rather. And if you're still watching this, use this code to get money off. I don't know how much money exactly yet, but because you've watched till the end of this video, congratulations. No one else is going to be able to have access to this code. It's just literally for you guys in this one video who've watched till the end. So use code I watched till end. Screenshot. If you do decide to buy it, if you do decide to invest in the course, this is the code. There's no gaps, there's no capital letters. It's just I watched till end, okay? I watched till end. That will get you money off. It'll get you a good amount of bloody money off as well, just so you know, because there's going to be a very small amount of you that are actually going to be still here and then also want to invest in yourself rather than just watch the content and get all the free surface level information, okay? Because this is just surface level information compared to the stuff that you get taught inside Pay to Exist, with all of the exercises, all of the shadow work, journal prompts, and just so much more information. Like, I talk everything about how this works. So yeah, hope you have a lovely, lovely day. I'm so excited. I'll see you inside Pay to Exist or in another video. Bye.